So in this video, I want to talk about medical courier jobs or delivery driving jobs that can make you $130,000 per year, which averages out to be around $10,000 per month or $2,500 per week. And this is with you delivering medical supplies and you're using your own car, your own truck, your own pickup, whatever you have, you can use it and you can make some good money here. Now you may be saying, well, Ian, how can I make all this money if I'm just using my car? Because definitely a lot of people would have already been doing this and they'd be making tons of cash. Now there are some things to consider here before we get into it. So first of all, this isn't a traditional full-time job, so you're not getting a salary per se here. And that means that how much you make is actually determined by how much work you do. So if you're only doing 1 to 2 gigs per day, then definitely you won't come anywhere close to making $130,000 per year or $2,500 per week. But if you're doing a lot of these driving gigs every single day, then you make a lot more money. And I'll also show you guys how in just a bit. Also, secondly, your car generally can't be too old to do these jobs. It usually needs to be 10 years old or younger. Also, some companies don't reimburse you for gas depending on which one you're working for. So even though you may be making a ton of money, you also need to minus the costs from your pay for fuel. If you have a fuel efficient car, then that means you get to keep more money in your pocket, meaning that you actually earn more. So the type of car, truck, or vehicle that you have also determines how much you'll make. And also, if you're going to be doing medical delivery, then you may have to transport specimens for, like LabCorp or these other companies. And that may require you to get some certs like a HIPAA cert, for example, but you can get that and it doesn't cost a lot. So here on the screen right now, this is our calculator. So $130,000 per year is roughly $10,800 per month, $5,000 bi-weekly, $2,500 weekly. Daily salary is $500, and so the hourly salary would be $62.50. So if you're making $62.50 per hour and you're working the standard 40 hours per week, then you should hit this $2,500 per week and this $130,000 per year. Now, I mentioned getting a HIPAA cert before. If that is something that you need because you'll be transporting specimens, medical specimens, then you can search this stuff up. I mean, you can find them here online. For example, this school is offering you the training for only $19.95. So this is stuff that you can do online. It doesn't cost a whole lot. So if you do need to do this stuff, you can get around it. Now, let's look at some of the actual companies. So for example, this one here, CB Driver, and I mentioned this before in a previous video, but here you can find not only medical courier jobs, but jobs delivering a lot of different stuff. So for example, this one here, it says multiple vehicle types. You can earn anywhere from $800 to $1,200 a week. These are to be announced here. Multiple vehicle types, $250 to $750 a week. Here it's up to $1,750. Here it's up to $11,000, which is a lot. So it depends on the gig, what you're transporting. I mean, if you're just transporting regular packages, then it's not going to be as much as if you were certified and transporting medical specimens. So here's a great place to look. And you can come here, you can type in your zip code or your city or state, and you'll find jobs there that you can do. And these will depend on the type of car that you have. Now, this is not a company per se. This is kind of like a place where the companies will come and advertise, and then you can come here and pick these jobs up. So I went over to Glassdoor and we looked up on one of these companies, for example, Diligent Delivery Systems. You can see delivery driver. They make around $37,000 per year. The range is anywhere from $33,000 to $43,000. And the average or the median salary for a single working person in the United States right now is $37,000. So this is making the average amount of money here, and this is based on over 40 salaries submitted. Now, if we look at owner operator driver here, it says $128,000 per year, and the range is $103,000 to $162,000. So here, this depends on what type of vehicle you have. So if you just have a car and you're working, doing probably that 40 hours per week, then you'd probably be making around $37,000, which is the median income. However, if you had a truck like a box truck and you were the owner operator, then you would make significantly more at around $128,000. And this is at this company, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what you'd be making. Now, if we go back to a calculator here, this is working 40 hours per week and making $62.50 per hour. But let's say you put in overtime, right? Because these are driving gigs and you can do as much as you want. So if you were making if you were working 60 hours per week rather, then you'd only have to make around $41 per hour to make that $2,500 per week. If you were really pushing it and doing 70 hours per week, you'd only have to be making $35 per hour to hit that $2,500 weekly mark and that $130,000 yearly mark. So that is something to keep in mind. Now, if we go over to another website like GoShare, for example, and you guys can apply to these websites, I'll leave the link down below. But here, this company actually gives you a breakdown of how much you could make. So for example, if you're driving a car, the average earnings here is around $45 per hour or up to $45 per hour. Here, if you have a pickup truck, the average earnings is up to $70 per hour. So if you go back to our calculator here, if we were making $70 per hour, then this would fall into our 40-hour work week. So you could work for 40 hours, and here, if you had a pickup, you'd be making that $130,000 per year or more. If you had a full-size cargo van, you'd make more. If you had a box truck, you'd make around double that amount of money, if not more. So it depends on the vehicle. If you have a small car, then you probably won't be able to make $130,000 unless you're doing a ton of overtime. You're just doing all these gigs all day, as much as you possibly can. But if you have a larger vehicle, then that helps you to make a lot more, and you probably still have to work longer. So again, you determine how much you make here. If you're only doing 1 to 2 gigs per day, then you won't make all that money. But if you're doing a lot more, then you can earn a lot more. Now, some other companies that you can apply to. So first of all, the first one was CB Driver. So this is a good place to look for these types of jobs. Secondly, you can go to GoShare and look for these types of jobs here. You can go to another one like Diligent, and I believe Diligent is this one right here that they're currently giving away a $300 sign-on bonus. So another place to look for these types of jobs. And if you look at the requirements here, for example, they just need you to have a reliable vehicle, delivery knowledge, driver experience preferred, but it is not required. So if you don't have experience delivering or driving stuff, then that is fine. Have a smartphone or GPS device to find your way around. They want you to be responsible. They also want you to have a good driving record. Now, this is for Diligent, but most of these companies will kind of have the same requirements. So driver's license, insurance, and a motor vehicle report obtained in the last 30 days with a good driving record. Must be 21 years of age and older. This is one of the downsides to these jobs. Most of them will require you to be 21 years of age and older. There's a video I did about 2 weeks ago where I highlighted an opportunity here that you could do if you were 18 plus. So if you are younger than 21 years but older than 18, then check out that video. And here, of course, you can use just about anything. So if you have, the smallest fuel efficient cars, you can use that here. If you have pickup trucks, if you have cargo vans, if you have a box truck, no matter what you have, you can use it and you can monetize it and make some money. So this is another company. Also, another one here is Priority. They have these positions all over the country from time to time. So this is another one that you guys can check out as well. Then we have another here, for example, American Expediting. This is another one that you can apply to. And again, you're your own boss and you work as much as you want or as little as you want, and you kind of control your earnings. And then next on the list, we had Freight, and this is a company, this is an app. You can do pretty much the same thing. So this is just something else that you can look into, but any one of these will do, or you could probably try them all, see which one you like the best or which one has rather more jobs in your area. but this is a great way to monetize your car if you're currently looking for a opportunity but you just haven't landed one as yet. And again, you don't have to make $37,000 per year, right? I mean, that's the average, but if you put in a lot of time, you can make significantly more. And also, if you have a pickup or a larger vehicle, then that will also help you to make significantly more as well. So if you want to make $2,500 per week, this is how it's possible. Now, if you have a small car, then it's going to be much harder. But if you have a pickup truck, a cargo van, or a bigger vehicle, then this will be much easier. So with that said, hopefully this video was able to help you guys out, help you find some of these jobs, monetize your car if you already have it sitting there and you're looking for a job and you weren't able to land the job that you wanted. You can do this in the meantime until you get that, work from home job that you've been looking for, or you could probably turn this into a full-time thing if you're making a lot of money here. So comment down below, let me know if you've ever done any of these driving gigs before, if you've had to do any certs or anything, how much you were able to make. Actually tell me the highest you were able to make working here, how much time you had to put in to make that amount of money. That way I can go out here and find similar jobs that pay more. So that said, all the best, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys very soon in the next one.